House Democratic leader Nancy Pelosi has launched this effort to force a vote on extending the middle-class tax cut while letting taxes go up first of the year for the wealthiest 2% of Americans. Keep in mind, Republicans own the House majority, so they control which bills, of course, come to vote, and they have not allowed a vote on the tax cut. So Pelosi has begun to circulate this petition, and it would force a vote on the measure. They have to get the signatures just to get the vote to happen. If all House Democrats sign the petition, she still needs just about 24 Republicans to come on board as well, and that could prove to be a pretty tough task. Joining me now from Washington, Congressman Steve Israel, Democrat of New York. Congressman, nice to see you back here on the show.
Thanks, Brooke.
I understand you yourself have been reaching out to some of the House Republicans on this. Have you spoken to any of them?
I have, and you're right. It is tough for a Republican to break with his or her party and sign this petition to give a tax cut to 100% of all Americans on the first $250,000. What's tougher, I think, is for them to go home and have to explain to people who are making $100,000, $200,000 that they're not going to get a tax break, that their taxes are going to go up $2,000 in order to protect the richest 2%. Now, look, I personally believe that $250,000 figure is too low. If you represent a high cost of living area like mine, I think it should be higher. But I'm not willing to go back to Long Island and explain to somebody who's making less than $250,000 that they're going to be held hostage for people making more. Let's agree on the $250 and get to the higher number.
Okay, so these Republicans, though, as you point out, the tougher task is to go back to their constituents. How many do you think you may have coming over to your side? Got a number?
Well, we put out I think we'll get virtually every single Democrat, and we've put out a help wanted ad today. The middle class has a help wanted ad. We need about 30 Republicans who are willing to sign this petition. Just force a vote. You can vote against it, but force a vote on tax cuts for at least up to the first $250,000, and the only skill necessary is courage.
Congressman, we have 2 weeks. You really think you're going to get 30 Republicans to do this?
I think as we get closer to the fiscal cliff, I think many Republicans will realize it is an indefensible position to go back to their districts and say to 100% of their constituents, your taxes are going to go up because I was protecting 2%.
Okay, let me ask you about your party, because one question is why is it so important to you, to the president, to other Democrats that rates go up on the 2%, the wealthiest Americans? Because I know there are a lot of issues at play here, but it seems as though your side will not go anywhere until you get that. Is that correct?
No, look, what's important to me and to my party is that we reduce our debt. What's important is that we reduce our debt, but not on the backs of the middle class and seniors. What's important is that we have debt reduction that is big, bold, and balanced. And to do that, you have to cut spending. We've already voted for $2 trillion in cuts. We've already cut spending $2 trillion.
But you won't budge on that 2%. I just want to make crystal clear that that's the deal.
We can negotiate. I'm all for talking and reasonable compromise, but it doesn't look like we're going to be able to get an agreement before Christmas. And this is why people get frustrated with Washington. Instead of beating each other up where we're not going to agree.
You don't think an agreement will be reached by the end of the year?
Not on the whole package. I think it's getting tougher and tougher. So instead of beating each other up on areas where it looks like it's going to be tough to get agreement, let's just pass areas where we agree. Everybody agrees at least on a tax cut on the first $250,000. Let's pass it. Let's give America's middle class certainty in terms of how much they can spend on their holiday gifts. Let's come back as soon as we can and negotiate the tougher issues. That's just common sense and reasonableness.
Let's talk about numbers. Let's throw the common sense and the courage out the window for now. Let's just talk hard numbers. Guys, if we can throw up the Dow right now, it's been up about 100 points. And, you know, there was an article, Congressman, in the Washington Post today saying that traders think they do think, perhaps you don't in terms of a huge deal, but a deal will be reached before the end of the year, and that there's really not this feeling on Wall Street that, and I'm quoting this article, that a short-term voyage off the cliff would do no lasting harm to the economy. What are you hearing from Wall Street? Sounds like some folks aren't so nervous.
Well, you know, there's a variety of opinions, a diversity of opinions. You know, I've always said, show me 2 economists and I'll show you 6 different opinions. You know, the opinions are out of my control. What's in my control is this. Can we get certainty? And again, we all agree on at least the first $250,000. Me, myself, I think it ought to be higher because, again, it should be linked to the cost of living and not some figure. I think it should be higher. but let's just get agreement and pass the bill where we know everybody does agree, and that's on at least the first $250,000. That gives the markets certainty, and just as important, it gives the middle class certainty. Right now, this weekend, people are going to go out and buy holiday presents for their family, their friends, their loved ones. They need to know whether their taxes are going to go up by about $2,000 because we can't get an agreement. Let's at least get that done, and then we can move on to the more contentious issues.
Okay. Congressman Steve Israel, I appreciate it. Thank you very much
Thanks,
for joining me from the Hill.